Frederick Swarupanik, Swami Swarupananda, and I am living here at 800 Haumana Road at the Gardens in Haiku, Maui, Hawaii, developing a botanical garden, and that is dedicated to the science of living in harmony with nature. And I'm trying to do my humble part to help planet Earth evolve into being heaven. And this is one little piece of heaven that I am using as a model for hopefully having planet Earth become more heavenly. Here we are at the historic taro fields. They're called lo'i, and the ancient Hawaiians, approximately 1,000 years ago, came to these islands, and they took this valley and they cleared it and they terraced it. They built these stone walls here, and they diverted the water from the stream to flow this way through this valley. They weren't devastating the land. They were living in harmony and quite comfortably. And if we could kind of gain back their wisdom, our life quality would go up tremendously. And that's what I'm hoping to do with this land, to help to establish the ancient Hawaiian form of nutrition. The ancient Hawaiians were 95% plant-based. They only ate 5% fish. The breadfruit is the most delicious fruit on the planet, and it is the tree of life. And this one tree will eventually give the majority of humanity's food. And this is how I fertilize this orchard, is by aerial fertilization. And these are my little aerial fertilizers here. And I feed them right under the tree here. And I spread the food around quite well, so it takes them a long time to find it all. And while they're here, they're fertilizing the orchard. And these are the limes. This will be having this lime drink today.
And the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true.
This island was originally a bird sanctuary before humans came here just about 1,000 years ago. And before that, for millions of years, this was the bird capital of the entire planet, was the Hawaiian Islands, because it was one of the only chains that mammals were not able to reach. So the birds had their bird kingdom here. And they had thriving colonies with hundreds of different varieties and species of birds, many of which have gone extinct. There are actually more endangered bird species within the Hawaiian Islands than all 49 other United States combined. So I'm committed to helping those birds survive, the remaining birds, and to help to rebuild the bird colonies and to make the Hawaiian Islands back into a bird sanctuary. I think that the birds are actually angels. They're like, every single one of them are divine beings. And I love being with them. I absolutely, I have to say, I've never found a human gathering that I find as inspiring as being with the birds. And I spend a lot of time with them alone, and I just find them to be the most fascinating company, every one of them. My spiritual path started when I was as young as I could imagine. And my mother, I remember the earliest memories I have of my mother talking with me about things, and the earliest memories when I just started communicating with my mother in words. And my parents never treated us as kids, they really treated us more as adults. Ever since we were little, they really shared everything with us. I went to my grandfather's funeral even when I was very young, and I really saw the whole thing of life and death. So I think that really my spirituality is really based on my parents originally. At the end of 20 years, I was 40 at that point, and I wanted the experience of flying while Swamiji was still in his body, so I could see how I could fly on my own. Something like a bird coming out of the cage while the parents are still alive, to see, it could always come back to the cage, but it wants to see if it could fly on its own. Because when you live in an ashram, you're more or less the member of an orchestra, and you have to follow the leader, the orchestra leader, because you're a group of people all working together for a certain project. So with Swamiji's blessings, I just tried an experiment of saying, well, I'm just going to put myself in God's hands, and you just move me and just tell me what to do, and I'll do whatever is next to do. But after having spent some time at the UN and pounding those pavements, I came to the conclusion that it was not possible to make global change from the upper level. You can't stop and legislate it. You have to start from the grassroots. You can't start from the top. You have to start from the bottom. So I had this idea of creating just one cell of heaven, that you just create heaven on earth in one little place. And I meditated on what would heaven look like, where would you find heaven? And so I kind of came up with this vision that there would be the ocean, and there would be trees and a lush environment, and doves and peacocks and birds and budgies. I had this idea of what heaven would look like, and I decided just to create one cell of heaven. But I didn't have any funding, and I didn't know how I was going to do that. So I just jumped out in a leap of faith. Little by little, every piece, came about for the last 20 years to get this established to the point where we are now. Humans, by nature, are designed to be nature guardians. We are designed to be the stewards of planet Earth, and the ones that help to maintain the balance of biodiversity and the ecological balance of the planet. And I believe if we fulfill that mission and are truly harmonious stewards with nature, that nature itself supports us by giving us the experience of blessedness. That is what I believe the gardens are here to share.
Bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dare to, oh why can't I see trees of green and red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you.